Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm here today to do my Romanceopoly TBR um round 1. So every month I am gonna do this and for a week in the month. It is gonna be the first week of every month, first full week of every month. So originally January was supposed to start on the 9th, but I decided to actually start it the week of the 2nd, just because there's quite a few books coming out on the 10th that don't fit into the rules. Um, so I just decided to get it out of the way and do it on the 2nd. But every other month will be the full first week of the month. I plan on rolling 5 times every week, um, for every month, every time I do this. And of course, if I get any doubles, I will add a roll and go from there. Um, and if I happen to finish the 5 or so books, I may decide to roll a few more times in the week, but I don't know. Um, but yeah, I'll leave the information down below if you're interested. And yeah, let's get into the rules.
Roll number 1, and it is 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Passion Place. And the prompt for that is read a slow burn or intense heat contemporary romance.
Role number 1 was Passion Place, and for this is to read a book with either a slow burn or intense heat contemporary romance. And for this one, I am going to read The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Miriada Zapata. I own this on Kindle and audio. I don't always like her books, but this one is a sports romance, so I'm have high hopes for this one. And this is, I think, her most popular book. So yeah, I'm excited to read this one. And it's definitely slow burn because all of her books are slow burn. So yeah, this is gonna be book number 1.
Roll number 2 is a double, and it is 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The Cobbles, which is a historical romance with a rape.
Roll number 2 was a double, so I do have to add a roll. And we landed on The Cobbles, which is to read a historical romance with a rake. And for this one, I am going to be reading A Week to Be Wicked by Tessa Dare. I don't really like historical romances or historical anything really, so I'm glad to get this one relatively quick. There's 2 more historical on here, so glad to get one off. Um, but yeah, I don't know anything about this, but I have it from my library. So yeah.
Roll number 3 is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Vault. And for that one, it is a paranormal. Read a paranormal where the main character on the cover. Okay.
Roll number 3, we landed on The Vault, which is a paranormal romance, and that is to read a paranormal romance with the main character on the cover. So the book I picked is Pestilence by Lawrence Orestes. This is book 1 in the Four Horsemen series. This one doesn't have the main character on the cover, but I do own it on Kindle and audio, and they do have the main character on the cover, so I'm going to count it. This is a reread for me, um, and I read this in 2022 and enjoyed it, but did not continue on with this series. And Becca from Becca in the Books, um, her Patreon has a um, Alpha Ho, I think is the book club name, where this is the first series um, they're reading. And I started back in October, and I just didn't participate until January because I tend to like binging my series. So I decided to wait until January so I could binge the whole series. So, yes, this will be a reread. And yeah.
Roll number 4 is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Action Avenue. And that one is to read a fantasy from your TBR. If you haven't got any on your TBR, read the first one that catches your interest.
Roll number 4 um, was Action Avenue, and that is to read a fantasy on your TBR. And if you don't have one on your TBR, read the first one that sounds interesting for you. But I do have a fantasy, and that is going to be War by Lauren Thoresis. This is book number 2 in the Four Horsemen series. And yeah, so this has been on my TBR, and I'm excited to read it. As I said, for Pestilence, I'm going to be reading this series in January, so I thought it was nice that I could fit these two in. Um, so I will continue on with the series at a later date in the month. But look at that. So yeah.
Roll number 5 is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Emergency service, and that one is read a book where one of the main characters is part of the emergency service, so medical field, so like paramedics, doctor, nurses, etc., fire service, police, detectives, officers, FBI, or spy. Okay.
Role number 5 was emergency service, and this is to read. It could be any genre, but you have to read a book that the main character is part of a emergency service, so medical field, firefighter, whatnot. So the one I'm going to read is Washed Up by Candy Snyder. This is part of the Bayside Heroes. This is a reverse age gap, so the heroine is older than the hero, and the hero is a nurse, I think, and he works in the emergency department. So I'm going to count it, and I'm super excited to read this. So, yeah.
Roll number 6 is 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 is South Street. And that one is a thriller, and it is read a thriller or mystery where one of the main characters are a detective or a private investigator.
Finally, role number 6 was Self Self Street, which is to read a thriller mystery where the main character is a detective or like private investigator. And this one I am going to be reading The Shadows by Alex North. I have this audiobook from Chirp, and I may even have the Kindle version. I read The Whisper Man, and I think I gave that 4 stars, so I'm excited to see what I think of this one. But it was recommended for this one on their website, so I was like, okay, I own it, so let's read it. Um, so yeah, those are all of the 6 books I plan on reading this week. As I said, if I um, finish these relatively early, I may decide to continue rolling throughout the week. But probably not because the final support group, 48-hour readathon that's hosted by Steph Love, is that Saturday, Sunday. So I will probably just read these 6 books and go from there. Um, but yeah, if you're going to participate in Romanceopoly, what did you roll? And I'll see everyone later. Bye.